And the week is ending. CBS Fridays are just getting started.
It's game time.
Let's do it.
Fire Country returns with new episodes.
I'm ready to claim my legacy as a firefighter.
And new SWAT at a new time.
I'm ready. Let's show them how SWAT gets things done.
Your favorite shows.
Buckle up.
All new episodes.
Can't beat it.
CBS Fridays. It all starts after Inside the 67th Annual Grammy Awards. CBS tonight at 8/7 Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
First daughter Ivanka Trump visited with some of the Eaton fire victims this week. She distributed relief aid to families on Tuesday at Expressions Church in Altadena and at the LA Dream Center. Her trip was organized by City Serve Altadena, a faith-based organization that works with local churches. Organizers say she spent hours encouraging volunteers and first responders. With that, thank you for watching KCAL News at 5. KCAL News at 6 starts right now.
This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Right now at 6, Laguna landslide. A portion of our coastline closed off to beachgoers after a hillside suddenly gives way. Plus, burn area concerns. Some local residents protesting over where toxic debris removal is being stored from the Palisades fire. Evelyn.
And Suze, we are bracing for rain in the forecast. We're going to talk more about those rain chances and, of course, our weekend forecast coming up.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Susie Suh in tonight for Pat Harvey. But first, we begin with breaking news. Pacific Palisades will reopen to the public this Sunday. The curfew will be ending and the LAPD will no longer distribute passes to get into the burn scar area, but will continue to staff additional officers in the area on 12-hour shifts.
And we're going to be monitoring the safety of the Palisades neighborhood day and night. We will let you know what happens if we do find people, if people are arrested, how things are going. We want you to tell us that as well, and we will respond accordingly.
Well, according to Caltrans, PCH will reopen Sunday morning at 8 with one lane open in each direction between the McClure Tunnel and Carbon Beach Terrace. Our Jeff Nguyen is live tonight in the Palisades as people are just hearing about this major change. Jeff?
So, Susie, the reopening of Pacific Coast Highway will allow people access to places such as this. You are looking at the Highlands in Pacific Palisades. And the idea is to make it easier for people to retrieve their belongings. You may remember there has been limited access to homes and businesses in the Palisades. Over the past couple of weeks, people have had to be escorted by law enforcement after showing proof of residency. That has meant long lines with tempers flaring at times. But on Sunday, the escorts will not be necessary. And keep in mind, the speed limit on PCH will be 25 miles per hour. All signal lights will be flashing red. So treat that like a stop sign. And while you won't need to show proof of residency to get into the area, the LAPD will surge resources to make sure looters and trespassers are caught and prosecuted.
I like the idea of her giving us access to come back up here to work with adjusters and not have to wait in a line and have an hour and 15-minute wait to get our permit or to then wait through the checkpoint to get up here. So that's good to open it, but to maybe put some sort of caveat that there still are hazards and insurance companies should still put up those people that are concerned about those hazards and not require them to come back.
What's your concern moving forward?
I'm concerned about the toxicity of living up here. I'm concerned about looting.
How so?
This is a pretty open area. There's one way to get in, one way to get out, which restricts looting, but it's still a real fear that people have.
The LAPD says that 30 license plate readers will be in service in the Palisades. In addition, the National Guard will wrap up its deployment in a week. For now, we are live in Pacific Palisades. Jeff Nguyen, KCAL News.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much. There's concern tonight about the removal of hazardous materials from the Palisades fire and where it will all be kept. We're talking about toxic debris that's being collected by the EPA. A fenced-off piece of state parkland in Malibu has been serving as a staging area for the removal of household hazardous material. Well, environmental activists stage a protest there today, although the EPA says the hazardous material will not be processed at the staging area.
They're in drums or yard boxes or some other type of container to prevent a release. And as they come to the staging area, those containers are then consolidated to larger containers, and they're shipped off in bulk transportation.
Well, the land is also an indigenous burial site, but the EPA says it's sensitive to its cultural relevance and discussed it with leaders in that community. A Culver City man charged with flying a drone into this Super Scooper plane in the heat of the Palisades firefight. This is video of Peter Tripp Acumen leaving the courthouse in downtown LA this afternoon. He agreed to plead guilty to piloting the drone that took out the Super Scooper on January 9th. The plane was out of commission for 5 days at the peak of the Palisades fire. FBI officials saying even though there's no evidence it was an intentional crash, the case shows why the FAA has strict guidelines for drone pilots.
As CAL FIRE has said, if you fly, we can't. Meaning they cannot use their most sophisticated technique to attack these wildfires.
Well, on top of pleading guilty to a misdemeanor charge, Acumen has agreed to pay back the cost of repairs to the plane, about $65,000, and serve 150 hours of community service. Well, a warmer weekend, but all eyes are on next week when another round of rain will move in. Meteorologist Evelyn Taft tracking where we'll see that significant rain and how it could impact our burn scars. Ev?
Yeah, absolutely, Susie. And here's the good news. I'm going to just start with the headline that there's a very small chance that we could get debris flows. There is a chance, but very, very small. And that's what the National Weather Service literally said, very, very small. So we will hold on to that and hope that's absolutely the case. We've got an air quality alert that's going to remain in effect through the weekend. So we're going to talk about that coming up in a little bit. Rain likely Tuesday through Thursday, and we're looking at very high snow levels. So 8,000 feet, well above resort level. And this will be the tail end of an atmospheric river. So we're not getting nearly as much rain as Northern California per se, but we're getting half an inch to an inch and a half, and possibly an inch to 3 inches in our mountain and foothill locations. So we'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. But for now, Suze, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Ev, thanks so much. A landslide in Orange County takes out part of a popular walking spot, Thousand Steps Beach, now back open after being closed earlier today. As KCAL's Michelle Geely shows us, neighbors are nervous the land could move even more.
You know, it's a concern in the back of your mind that, hey, in the middle of the night, you're